I see you're interested in my waxworks. Yes?
Well,
Yeah. In fact, we were just saying, it's kind of a weird place to have one.
we've got to get back to class.
Yeah.
Back to class.
Nice to meet you, Mr.
Wait a minute.
I think
They're
college.
in their 30s.
Hope they're not in high school.
Mister.
Those bags under her eyes.
I'm having a private showing tonight.
They forgot their no-dos.
What kind of waxing does he do? Does he
After
do
dinner
anal
before
bleaching?
bed.
Brazilian.
You can bring some friends, of course. See you at midnight, then.
They ran away because they heard a cat.
Cats are scary.
They heard
Guys,
two cats mating.
I'm gonna play the hero. At least give you the room.
They ran
15
away.
numbers, man.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh my god, who wrote this? It couldn't end that way. Or could it?
did. Just a wax sound.
Oh my god.
Ha.
I think that wins for worst ever.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty bad. Oh,
That was dreadful.
yeah.
I refuse to talk about it.
I don't think we could suggest this one.
I don't know. I mean, could I suggest it? I don't know. I'm still contemplating that. Okay, so why
Okay.
don't we start?
Welcome to another B movie. I am Keri, and this is
Yvette.
Yay! And we are just like going on and on already because we watched Waxwork
Oh my
from
god.
1988, and it was not good.
It was taken from
A
another.
1924 silent German film.
I haven't seen I don't think I've seen the silent German film, if you could even get your hands on it. If it's out there, I definitely want to see it because it couldn't be as bad as this trash.
I think it
There's
would
no
be.
way. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I can imagine that the idea of the story sounds interesting and pretty brilliant. But see, that's where it ends. The way it was executed,
It was not good.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could take that concept and make something brilliant with it, but this was just it was funny. I mean, I can't say that it wasn't so bad. I'm upset that I watched it. Like I could watch it. It's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad where it's like, oh my God, why did I watch that piece of crap? No, it's not like that.
I don't know. I don't even know what to make of it.
I know what you mean. It's one of those films that you can just kind of have playing in the background while you're doing other things. You just kind of look up and like, oh, look at the Wolfman, cute. Ah.
During Halloween, if you have a marathon going and it was playing, I'd watch it.
Yeah, because you're not going to pay that much attention and not care. You're just going to want to see the
Yeah.
little, the monsters here and there as you're cleaning the kitty litter box or something.
I know exactly. The kitty litter was more fascinating though.
I'll put it on as I'm cleaning the kitty litter box.
Oh my god.
No, you know what? Okay, this
This
is
is
this is
bad.
funny, but it made me think. Just right now, I was thinking, you know what? It reminds me of Night at the Museum.
Yeah, but that was good.
Right, how everything, all the historical characters and
The scenes like
all
come
the
to
scenes
life.
come to life, right? And this is sort of like what this was, but with a mishmash.
The concept sounds brilliant. It's like I could see someone pitching this. I could see someone pitching it and it sounding like, yeah, that's going to be awesome. That sounds really cool. And it does. It seems like a really cool concept. Like, how could you go wrong?
Yeah, but it didn't have a strong story.
Now, this is one where you can take the concept and
Yeah.
redo it and probably make something really good. I think it failed in that they had some really bad actors because maybe they could only pay for their A-list actors. And then, so they brought in some people off the streets that
Can
never
you
acted
can you
before.
pretend you're a cop? Just
Oh, no.
just grumble.
Don't point fingers. I know it was bad. Oh my gosh. They could really do this again and do it justice and maybe put together a really good script. I mean, it's not really Night at the Museum because Night at the Museum, the scenes didn't come to life. The figures came to life. And this, it's kind
Yeah.
of like the whole scene
Right,
came to life.
right. You're popped into that scene. So okay, so I'm looking at the original Waxworks. I think they just maybe loosely, took from it. And it
Very
was,
loosely.
yeah, 1924. But it says a wax museum hires a writer to give the sculptures stories. The writer
Oh.
imagines himself and the museum owner's daughter in the stories.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a cute little story. So it was little horror vignettes that he was writing, and then he was imagining him and the daughter in it.
Right. Because he has the top cast. I'm reading the characters, and there's Ivan the Terrible, Jack the Ripper, the poet. So it looks like it's just various stories, not necessarily all, evil.
Those are real characters, though.
Yeah.
Ivan the Terrible, Jack the Ripper. It's like I get that.
No, I'm curious about this other one, this 1924.
Yeah, I want to see that. We should just watch it.
See if we could find it somehow.
I'd want to see
Original
that.
title, Das
Waxwork.
Wachsfigurenkabinett.
Wachsfigurenkabinetten.
It looks like Das Wachsfigurenkabinett. I'm probably saying that like so wrong.
Wachsfigurenkabinett.
Okay, so that's interesting. So this is totally different. While writing the third story about Jack the Ripper, he falls asleep and dreams he and the girl are pursued by the serial killer. So it sounds like just like a fantasy
Like just little
thing.
fantasy vignettes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing like this. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They took a germ of a really good story and then obliterated it
And then
into a big heaping, steaming pile of. Oh yeah.
Yes. So okay.
How does this mess start?
With 30-year-olds, high school
With
students.
30-year-old high school students. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's one of those.
Yeah. But one of the main characters is a wealthy.
He's an ass.
Wealthy. Yeah, ass. He's a real jerk.
A real dickwad.
Yeah.
And this is our hero.
Right, Zach Galligan, who we know from Gremlins. He was the lead.
Yeah, and he
Gremlins.
was adorable in that.
He was Billy Peltzer.
I mean, he was fine in that.
Yeah, and this one he's just such a
He's
jerk.
just a dick.
Yeah, and they play it to the whole rich kid
Asshole in
Right.
this thing.
at the beginning. So
And the thing is, all throughout the thing, you never warm up to him. It's like he never redeems himself, and he
No.
stays an asshole throughout. And yet,
Right.
this is our protagonist.
yeah, he's never likable. in
Never.
this. Never.
Nobody really is.
Actually, I was just thinking, who did
The
we like
only
in this movie?
person that I did like was
The
uh,
werewolf.
was the werewolf. I liked
That's
the
the only one
zombies.
I
I liked the
werewolf.
evil people. I wanted them to come to life. They were fine.
The likable character was the werewolf and the little evil baby
Oh my gosh!
that we
I
only
want
get
a
at the
little-
end. That we
Yeah,
only get
there's
at the
there's
end.
this little evil baby with sharp teeth.
Sharp teeth.
There's like some alien weird. It wasn't even alien. It was just like a little baby with little sharp teeth that's like
Right.
nyang, 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 nyang.
Hanging on to the grandma.
And it's this weird grandma with weird pasty eyes and pasty white skin sitting in a crib with this weird toothy baby.
His fangs.
Weird fangy baby.
Right.
Oh my gosh. It looked like the baby looked kind of like it had the teeth from if you're listening to this, you're probably aware of Trilogy of Terror. And
Oh,
you remember the little
yes.
voodoo man.
Yes, that's
The little
yes,
voodoo man.
same
The
little
baby
crunchy
had
teeth.
little
little fangs.
spiky teeth like the voodoo man in Trilogy of Terror. That was cool. I want one of those. I really want one.
That was cute.
Especially if it does try and bite you. I want one that really bites.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But we'll get to the end, the big finale.
We'll get to the end. Let's just talk about the finale.
Oh, the big finale. I know. Let's just talk about that because the rest of it's just Boresville.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of high school students who are bitching about everything.
Acting like assholes.
Right.
Rich, snotty little
kids.
punks.
Yeah. The one girl who is dating the rich kid is kind of seeing other people on the side, and he knows it, and he's not happy with her. She doesn't care. She wants to do her own thing. Right?
I mean, yeah, the only girl that was kind of okay was the one who was in Valley Girl. There's this girl who
Yeah.
who starred in Valley Girl. back in the day.
So her name in this is Sarah. Her name is Deborah Foreman, is the actress.
Deborah
And she
Foreman.
starred in Valley Girl.
And she plays a sweet little innocent, kind of virginal,
Girl Next Door.
like the Molly Ringwald type.
Yeah. So we've got that character. And then we got the jerk's best friend, who is very much like him. They're kind of interchangeable, really.
They're the same character. I couldn't tell them apart.
Hi.
Hey, is it true what they say about bodybuilders?
Well, that's for me to know. But I did enjoy rubbing oil all over that big...
Give it a break, China, okay?
Jeez, can't even take a joke.
Save it for the powder room, babe. This man is in pain.
That's being real assholes.
Like if something happened to one of them, I couldn't tell which one it was happening to because they all looked the same to me.
Yeah, they did.
All white guys look the same to me.
Yeah, everybody's white. Everybody is.
There's only two people of color in this that I
Right.
recall, and
Only
trust me,
two. Only two. And they have the best part.
Are you finished?
Yes, but my English is not so good.
This is 1988. Yeah, I get that.
different generation.
Seriously.
I feel so bad for those actors because actually
Oh my
they were
God.
good actors.
Yeah.
They were maybe two of the good actors.
Right. Right.
Oh my God. And this is what they were given. 2 seconds on screen of it was just so obnoxious. It
Racist.
was so racist and
So
obnoxious.
racist. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So basically we have the annoying teenagers bitching and moaning about everything, and
The typical,
very typical.
but also not charming. It's almost like they wanted like a 13 Candles group cast of characters, and you're supposed to like
Right.
them, right?
I-
Weren't you?
Guess I didn't.
Assholes.
You really don't like any of them.
Right.
The one who plays Sarah, maybe she's passable, but then in the end,
Yeah.
she ends up a whore.
Well, they're calling her a whore. I'm like, wow, people.
You end up
come
realizing she's a
on.
big pervy whore. No, okay. That's terrible.
She's not.
Anyway.
You know what happened? Okay. So wait, should I even go into that?
No,
I
don't even
know.
go
Let's
into
not even
it.
go into that yet.
Let's not
We're
even get into it.
let's
We're not
okay.
there yet.
We're
We're
not
not
there.
even near there yet.
We're not. No. All right. So the teenagers, the group of teenagers, the girls are on their own, walking down the street as they walk past a building that says Waxworks. I mean, it kind of looks like
It just looks like an old house with a sign they put up that said
those
Waxworks.
Waxworks, right?
Like one of those old Victorian houses.
Yeah. And, the gals are walking by, not noticing anything. And suddenly this guy dressed very similarly to Willy Wonka with the purple jacket and
Very Willy Wonka. He just didn't have the top hat, yeah.
yeah, that's all he was missing. Suddenly pops into their view.
Yeah, just magically.
I'm sorry, ladies. Did I startle you?
Heart attack, maybe. Startle, no.
I see you're interested in my waxworks.
Magically appears and invites them to visit his Waxworks museum at midnight tonight.
And it's so boring in this town. They'll do anything.
They're just like, what? Okay.
I'm having a private showing tonight at midnight.
Good time. After dinner, but before breakfast.
You can bring some friends, of course. No more than 6, though. Otherwise, I'm afraid we might be a bit full.
Oh, you're expecting a crowd.
Like I said, no more than 6.
And he says, bring 6 of your friends.
Bring 6 more assholes.
6 more. Pretty much. Bring 6 assholes with you. Only 6. I'm limiting it to 6. Which is weird, but okay, we'll go with it. So the girl's like, okay, yeah, great. Ooh. And the next thing you know, they are at school.
They're at school in the bleachers, talking to their friends, watching the jocks play football.
I guess they tell them that they're invited to this and if they want to go, right? They invite their friends.
Hold up. We forgot about the most important part. The very opening scene. The opening scene sets up the whole story. The opening
Oh,
scene.
we totally did. But you know what?
I know it didn't. It was so inconsequential. It didn't even really matter. But it starts off where you see someone being
Well, you know
robbed.
what? That was actually like the most intriguing thing. And then all of a sudden you're just like submersed into this world of annoying teenagers.
Of annoying 30-year-old freshman assholes.
Yeah, and so from that point on, it's kind of like drags on with a bunch, do I want to hang
And it
out with
does
these people?
drag.
No, I don't want to hang out with these people.
It's like there's a bunch of banter that makes absolutely no sense. You find out that Mark Lotmore is a wealthy kid, and it's like you see a little bit of his life.
Yeah.
But prior to that, just a brief scene. It's a very brief
It's
scene that
very
opens it,
brief.
but it establishes a lot of the plot. This guy is getting robbed. I just thought it was jewelry. It didn't
That's
look
what I
like
thought. I was
artifacts
like,
to
oh,
me, but
someone's stealing the jewelry.
they're stealing it looked like costume jewelry, like some kind of jewelry you get from
Yeah.
Big Lots.
Right. In a glass case
In a
in a
glass
person's
case.
home. So it's not like a jewelry store or anything like that.
No.
So it's like they're robbing this guy. He has a little glass
And
case
he's
full of
trying to
jewelry.
fight him, which is probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, the
His
fight.
head catches on fire.
Because he's next to the fireplace. And the guy, who's robbing, kind of throws him to the fireplace.
Throws
The
him
guy's
down to the fireplace. Yeah.
head catches on fire, and he gets up, and he's still trying to wiggle around. He's like heat miser.
It's like his head was waxed because it
His head's
combusts.
just like with the flames on his head.
I don't know if anyone's head would combust like that. It just
So it's
burst
just
into
his head
flame.
is like sizzling. And so he's kind of standing up and like he's going to fight back, and then he flops back down and
the rest of his head starts to
sizzle in the fireplace.
and then the guy sits down next to it and starts to warm his hands and feet.
Grabs a couple of marshmallows.
Put another granny on the fire.
Grab some marshmallows.
Make some s'mores.
I'm making some s'mores as I'm grabbing some jewelry. Right.
So anyway, so yeah, that was just a flashback to the beginning.
Very quick scene.
It was very quick. It was
Yeah.
very quick. It happens I don't even know if it happens during the credits or it happens directly after the credits and then it's done.
Yeah, it's super fast.
And then we get to this off-putting 30-year-old big mama's boy. Mummy, why can't I have coffee for breakfast?
Now drink your milk.
Mom, when are you going to let me have some coffee in the morning?
When you're a big boy. I mean, you know it's bad for you.
But, Mom, I need the caffeine badly.
Well, I'll think about it. Now run along, darling.
No, son. No coffee for you.
It's so basic. And they set it up, in a way where, it's a huge table and each sitting at the very end of
And
the
they can't
table. So you
see
can't
each
see each
other.
other. You can't really communicate. There's a huge arrangement, a floral arrangement in the middle. So, you're not even seeing their faces. They're just talking back and forth. And so,
Only mother's milk for you.
Exactly. And it's so annoying because it's like you feel like, how many times have I seen something like this? It's like, okay, I get
It's
it.
very
They're
it's an
rich,
old
it's like-
trope.
yeah, it's like, okay,
Tired old
we get
trope.
it, we get it. Yeah, he's not allowed to drink coffee. He's still a boy.
It's like a 30-year-old man who can't get his own damn coffee.
No, he's
Oh,
so
dude.
wealthy and annoying. And he has his butler, Jenkins, who does provide him with caffeine and
Here's your
nicotine.
caffeine and nicotine, sir.
Your excuse me, caffeine, sir. Thank you. And, your nicotine?
Thank you.
I don't even know why he
Lord.
bothered asking his mom. I guess it was just so that we know that,
That he's a kept mama's boy
yeah,
who drinks mama's milk.
exactly. When do we care about him? We
No.
don't care about him.
We never care about him.
Drink as much caffeine as you like.
And smoke as many nicotines.
as you like. We don't care.
You can
Go
smoke
away.
as many nicotines as you want.
Yes, go away.
Oh, you punk.
Yeah. Anyway, these punk kids, they all decide to go ahead and visit the Waxworks, visit Mr. Wonka
At the Waxworks
at
at midnight.
midnight. Right.
Oh,
So they get there and
they hear some cats mating in the background, get scared, and decide they want to leave.
right.
Guys, if I'm gonna play the hero, at least give me a little room.
Safety numbers, man.
which is like, okay, really? Meow! Quick, run! Let's get out of here. There's
so scared.
cats.
I'm
Cats,
terrified.
baby.
There's a
Oh my
feral cat
God.
out here.
Feral cat. This must be the bad part of town. Feral cats everywhere.
Oh my God.
Made zero sense, but okay. So they were a little scared, but then they press on and they decide to go in. They get their courage.
Two of them, they come with 6 assholes, and then 2 of the assholes leave. So there's only 4.
Only 4 assholes to be had.
To be waxed.
So there's only 4 assholes to be waxed. 2 of the assholes left because they were scared of feral cats.
Yeah, but this is not my idea of fun.
Come on, Gems, let's just take a look.
No. It just doesn't feel right, guys.
Wait a minute. Hey, honey, wait up!
Anyone else not coming?
This
That's how
alone,
good this movie
this
is.
alone tells you exactly what this movie's about. We just summed it up with that. Start with 6 assholes to be waxed. 2 leave because they're fearful of feral cats.
Oh.
And that is the movie.
The end.
There's some monsters thrown in there.
Oh, get out while you can.
Oh, yeah. So they show up and they are greeted
by a little person.
By a little person who is actually a pretty famous actor.
There's this like Butler Lurch looking guy that's helping him. But the
Yeah.
first thing you see is Hungarian actor.
Yeah, he's Hungarian. His name's Mishu Misaros. And he was in Big Top Pee-wee.
Pee-wee. I love Pee-wee. Yeah.
And HR Pufnstuf.
Was he in HR Pufnstuf?
He was in HR Pufnstuf.
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
He was, yeah, me too.
Was he Kling or Clang? Can't do a little if you can't do enough.
Wow, that's kind of
Wait,
sad.
that's
Can't
kind
do,
of. I know that's.
can't
Am
do
I
a
singing
little
that
because
right?
you can't do enough.
HR Pufnstuf, who's your friend when things get rough? HR Pufnstuf, can't do a little because you can't do enough.
Oh, is he?
Oh
Well, he
my
was
God,
the
that's
mayor,
awful.
right?
You can't do anything?
Terrible.
Can't do a
What a
little 'cause
horrible
you can't do
song.
enough. So don't even
think-
do
right?
anything, kids. Just be lazy. Do nothing.
What a moral of that TV show.
You will not accomplish anything. You can't do anything. Can't do a little, so you can't do enough. That's why we're lazy bastards.
We're so lazy.
We can't do it. We just can't. We're never going to accomplish anything. Can't do a little because we can't do enough.
That is the lyric, right?
God, now I want to look it up.
Oh, how sad.
Can't do a little because you can't do enough.
Jimmy and the little flute.
Jimmy and the flute. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the flute. The
With
little
Witchy
flutie.
Poo.
I loved Witchy Poo.
Oranges, oranges, there's another one. Oranges, oranges, there's another one. Oranges, oranges, there's another one. Another rhyme for oranges.
There ain't no rhyme for oranges. Oh, I love it.
Billy Hayes, man. She was Witchy Poo.
Yeah, she was
Loved
awesome.
her.
And she was Jeannie in Lidsville.
Oh yeah, Lidsville. All right, you guys. So now we're going into HR Pufnstuf.
Okay,
and
let's forget
Lidsville
about
Land.
this movie.
So we're suggesting you watch those instead.
It's, you know what? It's a very similar premise. He jumps into a different reality.
Yeah, but he's likable.
And that weird boat he was in.
Yeah, and it changed. It was like really pretty, and all of a sudden it got like really dark.
And the seas got rough, and then it, all of a sudden you see Witchy Poo in the sky, and her
It's like, and her broom broom.
and her
Broom, broom.
boom-mobile.
Broom.
Broom broom. Boom-mobile. Broom broom. Oh my gosh. And then wasn't one of her sisters Martha Ray?
Martha Ray, I think so. Maybe as like a guest or something. Or
Yeah, she wasn't on all
she
of
wasn't
them.
there all.
but-
Yeah, Witchy Poo. Yes.
Oh, that was such a good show. And that was way better than Waxwork.
It's so much better. Our suggestion for you, HR Pufnstuf.
Can't do a little because you can't do enough.
Lidsville was a lot like this. Let's explain Lidsville. So the guy who used to be Eddie Munster falls into a gigantic magician's hat and ends up in Lidsville.
Lidsville is a cookies. Lidsville is a kiss. Lidsville is a grooviest. Lidsville is a living and friend. If you get a chance to go there, you'll be glad you did. 'Cause everybody who goes to Lidsville really flips his lid. How's that for a topper?
They were so on LSD. I love
my
it.
God. Because it's all Sid and Marty Krofft, right?
Oh yeah, it's all Sid and Marty.
Oh man.
Gosh,
There
that
gotta been
was good.
so many drugs going
They
on
must have
then.
been so high.
Yeah. It was perfect for our generation.
Nothing will ever compare to those shows.
No,
Nothing.
I loved those.
That's why our generation is insane.
Because we're watching kids shows made by people on LSD.
We were eating a bunch of crunch berries and watching
Oh
those
my God.
shows.
Yes, that's what we were doing.
I want candy! I want candy! I want candy! I want candy!
Hey, nobody gives a shit what you want. Shut your mouth.
Absolutely. Just
Oh my
eating all that
God.
sugary
Oh my
Hyde
gosh.
cereal.
Captain Crunch.
Oh my
Picking out the
God.
crunch berries.
Fruit Loops.
Now you can just get a box of crunch berries. Before you
Oh,
had to pick them
gross.
out of the cereal.
Well, then there's no fun in it if you just get the box of it.
I know.
Fruity
Gosh, it's
Pebbles.
all candy.
Eating all,
Like
yeah,
boxes of candy.
boxes of candy with all kinds of dye in it.
Yum.
Watching these crazy
Red dye number 2.
LSD inspired shows.
Oh gosh.
That is why we are the way we are. Because you
That's what
can't do a
happened.
little because you can't do enough.
And that's why the world's in such a mess.
LSD and eat your cereal.
We were the generation they experimented on.
Totally.
We were their guinea pigs.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Well, there you have it.
Nobody gives a shit what you want.
Now back to Waxwork.
That's how entertaining the movie was up until that point.
Oh, so those
Okay.
awful teenagers wind up in the Waxworks.
And then it just starts happening right away. They end up in the Waxworks. First, they're greeted by Little Person, and I
Uh-huh.
can't understand a dang thing that guy
Because
said.
he's Hungarian. His accent is so thick.
He said something to them and then whips his hair back and then walks out.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
they just stare at him like, what?
What?
And they just proceed on to look at the Waxworks.
I needed subtitles for that.
Sit down. Make yourselves comfortable. Or bring for anyone. You're supposed to wait until I ring the bell. Get out! Get out!
I can understand all that stuff. My dad was Hungarian.
Okay.
And his accent was just as strong.
I
Oh
dare
my
you. What did he
God.
say? What did he
Said-
say to the
He
kids?
said, "You want a cup of coffee,
Oh, you're lying. You don't know what he said.
darling."
Oh no.
Oh my God. So anyway, they go into the Waxworks and they see all the various scenes. And some are monsters.
Classic monsters like the Mummy, there's Wolfman, there's
The Phantom.
there was like a vampire set. Marquis de Sade, we already said that, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
Marquis Marc de Sade.
The Marquis de Sade. The Marquis de Sade.
He was there. They
Yeah.
didn't have Jack the Ripper. I was surprised.
No, they didn't. I think whenever you go to any kind of wax museum,
There's always the Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. So yeah, there was no Jack the Ripper, I don't think. So no Jack the Ripper there.
But a lot of other horror
Um,
movie creatures, things like that.
Mhm. No political figures, just
No Ivan the Terrible or anything like that.
no. And there were some zombies, but what do they call them? Trash zombies or
It was like a zombie movie that they were familiar with. I don't know.
trash zombies?
Trash panda zombies.
Trash panda zombies.
I don't know.
The trash zombies. Yeah, they kind of look trashy.
Ooey-gooey zombies. It was
Ooey
like
gooey zombies. That's what it was. Ooey gooey zombies.
it was like some kind of made up zombie movie that they
Right.
wrote.
They were horrible, the zombies. So that's probably why they called them something stupid like ooey
They
gooey.
didn't even look like zombies. They just looked like homeless.
Oh God.
There's like poor homeless people.
Oh no.
They didn't even look like zombies. They didn't even bother to put really good makeup on them. They
No,
just
and
looked like they were a
looked
little
like
bit disheveled and dirty.
it looked like they were wearing those goofy teeth that you can
Like
get
those
at
wax
the Halloween
teeth.
store. Yeah, and they're like, I mean,
They
they look
were
pretty
chewing
bad.
on them.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
ones that taste terrible.
Those wax
Fruit,
teeth.
fruit punch flavored.
Yummy.
That's pretty much what they what they looked like. So everyone, of course, is attracted to various scenes.
Yeah, a different scenario or a different scene.
And it starts off with one of the snotty boys. He is looking at the Wolfman scene. What was he smoking a cigarette? And he accidentally flings his match into the scene of the werewolf.
A lit match.
Idiot. He's going to grab the match, and suddenly he is pulled into this vortex, and it was like this blue neon outline on the vortex, which kind of reminded us of Xanadu.
Xanadu.
So yeah, it's got that kind
Okay.
of neon looking thing, and it sucks him into the scene.
And then he just has this weird bad wig on.
Horrible wig. Oh.
Well, this was before we knew what the premise of the scene was, and so we didn't realize he had popped out anywhere. And we're like, "What? What happened?
What happened
What's
to
going
him?
on here?" And he just has this dirty clothes on and a weird
And a
lopsided
horrible-
wig that looks like it's going to fall off.
He looked like a weirdo hippie.
He was at Woodstock.
With a bad wig.
That would have been more interesting.
God, that would have been funny.
Those of you who have partaken of the green acid, if you would, as soon as convenient, please go to the hospital tent.
What the fuck? I'm with a bunch of hippies. Oh, shit.
He took the brown acid.
Shit. I'm with the fucking hippies. Get me out of here. But unfortunately, no, they were not hippies. It was
Naked hippies playing in the mud.
that would be a scene. No, so instead, he is with a man who is soon to become a werewolf.
He's with John Rhys Davies, who I don't
Fabulous
think
actor.
I'm going to call him the Wolf Man. He doesn't really have a character name. He basically jumps into the scene and he starts to turn into the Wolf Man.
But you can do nothing to help me.
Jack, you got the wrong guy, man.
Jack! You must run, Jack. As far as you can. The full moon has already arisen. In a few moments, I dare not think what will happen.
Right. And he's telling the guy to get out. He's like, get out of
Get
here.
out! You are not safe. Leave, leave. And he's like, too late.
The guy's like, dude, what's the deal, man? What? Huh? Okay, fine.
And for some inexplicable reason, he goes out to get firewood.
Which made no sense, but
I don't even think he asked him to get any.
I don't think he did.
Why did you go out and get firewood and then bring it back instead of just running away? I don't understand.
Maybe he thought, well, now I have this wig and this weird outfit. Maybe I'm supposed to bring firewood to this man. I don't know.
I don't know. The Wolfman starts to turn into the Wolfman, but it takes forever.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the direction was on this scene, but part of what he was doing as the Wolfman was like, he looked like he was hugging himself and then doing some weird kind of wiggly dance. I don't know what that was, like the transformation part of him being a Wolfman.
Maybe he was trying to hold himself back from becoming, I'm going to squeeze my arms and hold myself back from becoming a werewolf. Oh.
Weirdest transformation. He finally does transform.
Yeah.
But he's the most adorable wolf.
Oh my God, the cutest.
It's like a big, giant, overgrown wolf looking.
cute.
It doesn't even look like a wolf, really. I mean, I don't really know what it looks like, but it's a big, puffy, cute, furry thing.
Yeah.
With little pointy ears.
Yes, that are moving around like little antennae. Like,
and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's adorable. I want to adopt him and take him home.
Right.
I just wanted to pet him.
And give him his shots and bring him home. Let's give you your shots. We don't want rabies.
I don't want rabies.
Yeah.
He's just
Adorable.
He's adorable. But then he goes on to eat the head of the boy that ended up in the scene. And he's just munching on it. He's biting it, but it looks like he's making out with him. He looks like he's necking with him. He's just like boom, boom, boom. He looks like he's kissing him.
Hello. You're so cute. I love that wig.
He's so happy to see him. He's like a puppy. I love it when puppies see you when you come home. They're so excited and
jumping up.
That's what he was doing.
Oh, I love you. Oh, and then he bites into him.
And then he eats his head.
No, he didn't eat his head because he had to become a wolf.
He bit his arm and then he kind of crunched his head too.
But then a hunter came in and
shot him.
The wolf.
God forgive me.
So the boy starts to transform into a wolf, but he only gets halfway, so he's not so cute.
No, like he's got bad inflammation and a bad wig.
And a bad wig. Like he was stung by bees.
And he was, and then had a bad wig on top of it.
And then the hunter comes in and shoots him. And that was the end of that scene.
So like, oh, well, he's dead.
Okay.
Who cares?
And that's the thing. You don't care. He's an asshole.
He's a dummy. Get him out of here.
Turn him into a wax figure. I don't care.
I don't care. Ew.
I don't care anything about these people. I don't care.
Nope.
Turn them all into wax figures. Maybe that's the service they're doing for the town. They're turning all the assholes into wax figures. They're waxing all the assholes. All assholes need to be waxed.
So that's the end of that guy. Then who's next?
And then Vampire Girl. And so the haughty little sassy
girlfriend of the Richie boy,
Richie Rich,
who's also seeing other guys on the side,
is transfixed by this good-looking vampire in this one scenario. She's hypnotized into it and walks into that scene. And the thing is, they take you to a totally different place. You go into this new environment whenever you go into one of these storylines. So the thing is, they don't have to write any real new material because they're all so derivative of the original story tropes. You know what I mean? It just felt like lazy storytelling. But vampire girls around a dinner table, and
he's the lead vampire. He's the papa.
And he's welcoming her to his dinner table.
Right, with all of his brides around him.
And his son, who looks older than him, with the same bad wig.
He took the same wig.
I think it is the same wig.
It's
and then
gotta
Fabio, the Dracula guy looks like Fabio. So Fabio is having a dinner.
Yeah, he's totally like Fabio.
Welcome, my dear. Join us.
And of course, the dinner is a delicious tartare of human.
Looks like blood clots.
It was like blood clot soup.
Yummy. With lots of extra coagulated blood sauce.
So she has to eat it.
And she does.
Politely.
That is the polite thing to do.
Very polite. That girl has manners. And the thing is, that does not fit with her character.
Because she's such a bitch.
Because she is such a bitch. All of a sudden, she has manners. She should have been like, ew, what the fuck is this?
What is this swill? I want my nicotine and my caffeine.
This is disgusting. Didn't you have sushi? This is gross. I'm not eating that.
Raw meat. You do like raw meat. Please. If not, we can have some.
No, that's fine.
But instead, she was very polite and ate it and, used her little napkin to dab a little bit of the blood off of her mouth.
She actually ate it all. She licked her plate.
She did, and they had to carry her off. She'd eaten so much.
That one actually made me want to gag.
Yeah, like pretty gross, because then everyone starts chowing down.
They're like piglets at the trough, slurping up their bloody clots.
So, yeah. So they take her to her room.
Her bathroom to throw up.
And the son shows up. The vampire's son.
Doesn't the gentleman knock?
If my father knew that I was here, he would banish me from the castle. He wants you for himself.
Hey, not so fast.
I guess he's trying would you turn her into a vampire?
He's hungry. He wants more. He didn't have enough blood
They
clots.
ate so much. Jeez, they ate so much, but whatever. She fought him. She goes into this room where she sees this man who, in the scenario, is supposed to be her fiance. He's tied to this table.
Basically, that was him for dinner. From the thigh down, only his leg is missing, but the bone is still
The
there.
bone is still there. So I guess that they'll use that later for soup.
I'm guessing. I don't know how
don't
he's
know.
still so wide awake. So coherent.
I know.
With a whole
me.
part of his leg
Get me out of
missing.
here. Get me
He's
out
not
of here.
bleeding out. I guess he has
No.
plenty of blood. They had a lot of that sauce.
They did. A lot of gravy.
There was like, what, 7 people at that dinner party?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
They were
Yeah.
eating a lot of his leg and doesn't seem like he's in much pain.
No, he's with it and like, hey, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Now listen carefully. The Count is a vampire. They all are.
This is horrible. And so our little vampire friend starts fighting with the gal. She fights back. She doesn't want to be turned or she doesn't want to be eaten. And she sees what's going on with her supposed fiance. And so she fights him and does what she's supposed to do.
Her fiance is so coherent. He's able to explain to her all of the rules about how you kill a vampire.
And they can only be killed by a crucifix, wood through their heart, or decapitation.
You're crazy.
You know, go get a cross, go break that chair. He's like directing her on what she's supposed to do to kill these vampires.
So she starts killing them off, and
the sun comes down too, because she fought him off, but she didn't kill him. But when she does kill him, it's spectacular. She gets the knives and puts them in the form of a cross, and he's like, put it on his head.
I'm like, that's stupid. It's not a freaking real
not a real cross. It's not blessed or anything. It's just 2 knives. And she puts it on his head, and then his head starts to get bubbly and expanding, and then it just explodes.
Right.
It's hysterical.
From the stupid knives. That means you could use anything and make it into a cross. She could have done that with her fingers. It didn't make any sense.
It didn't. It was stupid.
I mean, did a priest sneak in there and bless
those knives?
The knives.
It's always fun to see exploding heads.
I give that a thumbs up. Yeah. So she explodes his head, and then the lead vampire, the papa, is not very pleased.
No, I mean, because the vampires get the fiance also and turn him into a vampire. So she ends up killing them all. She ends up killing all of the wives, all of the vampire girlfriends. Everybody except for the main vampire, Fabio.
Yeah, and of course he's got the charm and the whole mesmerizing with the eyes. And
I am Dracula.
He hypnotizes her into a state of submission, and he bites her, and then she just happily becomes a vampire.
Yeah.
Going somewhere, my beauty.
Whenever one of these people goes into a scene, then the victim appears in the scene minutes later.
Right. So if you're on the outside, you could see that there's another character.
There's a new character in the scene. That's pretty cool. I mean, there's some cool elements about it, but it could have been so much better.
Mark and Sarah, she sees the Marquis.
And she's fascinated.
And she's fascinated with them, and you can see in her eyes that she's just like hooked.
She's gonna go. Like she's just seconds from jumping into that scene.
But at that point, Mark,
he's getting frustrated
and takes her out of there. And it's like, let's get out of here.
He just wants to go.
And he doesn't know where everybody else went. And he's like, let's just get out of here.
He's done with this stupid wax museum thing.
Where the hell are they?
Somewhere around?
They're not anywhere. I looked everywhere. I checked. I want out of here, Sarah. I'm serious.
But then we get an inkling that somehow she's connected with that scene.
The sweet innocent virgin is obsessed with the Mark de Sade.
Exactly. Mark de Sade. I love you.
But luckily he grabs her in time and takes her out.
Yeah, it's like, let's go, let's get out of here. So they get out.
And they're greeted by the little Hungarian who says something to them, but I don't know what.
Oh, Right, because they're like, "We're our friends," and he's just like, "They gone, they gone," and he's like moving his arms like, "They gone," and he's like,
Yeah. You don't know what he said.
"No," because he's like, "Da, da, da," like so fast, like, yeah, and he's like, "They gone."
And then he whips his hair back, and then he makes this weird whipping sound.
I hope you enjoyed the visit.
Yes, thank you. It's quite enjoyable.
You two friends left earlier.
Uh-huh.
They seemed laughing very much.
Tony in China?
Bye. Good night.
So they take off, and their friends are missing. They don't know what happened to them. So Mark decides to go to the police.
He has an inkling that something happened in the waxworks, and that's why they're missing. And so he goes to the cops and he tells them, you got to do something.
It's like typical scene with a cop. Like, how do you know? What do you do?
Surly cop.
Yeah, the coffee and the cigarettes. And how do you know? Why would you think that?
You know how many people have gone missing in this area in the last 2 weeks?
No.
13. That's a hell of a lot of people in 2 weeks.
And now another 2.
And you're telling me that they've been kidnapped and boiled in wax?
You know how many people are missing? 13 people are missing. It's like, dude, in your watch, in 2 weeks, 13 people are missing?
Sounds like you've got a problem. You've got a problem there, buddy.
I would listen to this one lead.
He doesn't care.
That knows that 2 people are missing and was with them just before they disappeared.
And knows where they were last seen. But...
I know, but dude, come on.
So I don't know, he kind of gives him a hard time, but then he decides to go and look for himself.
Mark's going to go in with him, but he's like, no, this is cop stuff.
You stay out here.
No, you can't come on. Well, we're going to go check it out.
So he goes to check it out.
Mark is with the cop and goes with him up to the door because he's infuriated and he thinks, oh, something happened here. Something happened here for sure. And the person who answers the door is David Warner, but in a nice white, looks like he's going to go play cricket. It looks very dapper.
Yes, very dapper indeed.
He's giving Mark the eye, knowing that Mark knows something, because you could tell that he knows Mark knows something's up.
But he also knows that he's going to get away with stuff. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah, I know. He's totally trying to snow the cops, and he knows he's snowing the cops.
As you know, Inspector, we're not open yet, so I doubt if they visited this waxwork.
You gonna swallow that shit?
You shut up. I'm sorry. You were saying?
Yes, well, it's just that it couldn't possibly be this waxwork, unless they broke in after dark.
Oh, come on. I don't believe this.
Of course, you can feel free to wander around if you wish.
It would be a pleasure. You stay here.
I want to show you waxwork.
Sit!
And then the cops make Mark leave. Mark's pissed about it, but he leaves. Then the cop goes in the waxworks with David Warner to check it out. David Warner's just brushing it off like, oh, sure, come in.
Yeah, come in anytime, take a look around, no problem. His character is David Lincoln. The cop sees the different scenes, and he's really attracted to the mummy. He was always interested and fascinated with mummies and archaeology and all that stuff.
David Warner, he tries to push him into the scene.
Sure you wouldn't like a closer look?
No. Please, really, I must be going.
But this didn't make sense. So David Lincoln, he pushes the cop. I mean, like, physically, you could see him really
tries to push him into the scene.
Throw him into the scene. And then he says, I gotta go. Wouldn't the cop be like, dude, why are you pushing me?
I know, but he didn't say anything.
I mean, it was such a physical, strong...
Here's the thing. You didn't get a sense of what he was thinking or feeling. Because I believe what they were going for is that when the police officer went into the waxworks, he knew who all the victims were. And so when he can see them
in the scenes,
and he probably was supposed to emote that he knew that something was up because he could tell that all these people looked like victims that he'd seen before. But you never get that impression.
It makes me wonder, like, did they cut something from that? Or is it
maybe. When Lincoln tries to shove him in, then he would have a look of suspicion on his face or something that would indicate that. But no, he just made it sound like,
he says,
I gotta go.
No, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta go play some golf or something. It was just kind of like, if someone pushes you that hard, you'd be like, dude, like, hey, wow. You try and knock me over.
But exactly, the direction and the acting, I don't know if it was an actor's choice or a director's choice to not react to that.
But there was just no reaction whatsoever. It's just like, okay, I gotta go now.
But he does get away, so he escapes.
Yeah, he leaves. And he knows that there's something going on there.
He goes back to the office and starts looking through all of his photos of the victims that
And
are
he's
missing.
piecing it together, looking at the different faces. And
that's how we know that he knows. And then Mark starts to realize that he knows Lincoln from somewhere. I know that guy.
Listen, Sarah, I think I know what's going on, okay? I went to the Waxworks today. I met this man.
Oh, that explains everything!
You don't understand. I recognize his face. Come on.
And so he grabs like Valley Girl, Sarah. He grabs Sarah out of class in the most ridiculous, over-the-top kind of slapstick way.
Yeah.
Trying to be cute.
I'm so sick. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel nauseous. Sarah's got it too. It's an incredibly contagious disease.
Oh, I'm sick. I've got.
He is no Ferris Bueller. It's supposed to be a cute scene.
It just falls flat.
It totally falls flat. It seems like it doesn't
flat.
even need to be in there. It's just like, just go get her.
Just get her and say, you know what? There's an emergency. I got to get out of here. Not the whole, oh, I hurt my arm. I got to get X-rated. I mean, an X-ray. I got to.
I know. It's like he's supposed to be charming and it's supposed to be funny and humorous.
But it's not.
It's like you never really warm up to him.
Aren't you in the scene yet? Didn't they already get you in the Waxworks?
Seriously. He wants to show her where he knows this guy from, where the Waxworks guy is from. And he goes up into this old attic in his house where all of this stuff is in boxes and it's totally dusty. It looks like it's never been seen in like years.
And covered with inches of dust.
But somehow he's managed to remember what a picture of one guy looked like in an obscure article about his grandfather in a
that
newspaper.
was hidden under a bunch of junk.
So he brings her up to the attic because he needs her there. I don't know why he needs her there, but it's like, what is she going to do?
I guess he needed help looking through things. Maybe he wanted her to dust.
The thing is, he wanted her to.
I need you to dust. I don't want allergies. Can you dust this for me?
What use is she? I mean, she doesn't know what he looked like. She doesn't even know what she's looking for.
No, but what she does find is a book. Marqué is She finds the book and she opens it and it's like reading rainbow, all lit up and it's kind of pretty.
It is like this bright beaming light that comes out.
So it's like reading rainbow, like, oh, you found a nice book.
Hey, the Marquis de Sade is going to beat me.
Right. And she's just drawn to it and it's glowing in her hand.
I want to know more of this book of perversions.
Never-ending story of perversion.
Oh, I thought for a second she was going to vanish and then pop into the scene anyway because she's so connected to the Marquis de Sade.
Exactly. That kind of wasn't even necessary, actually.
I don't think so. It's just overkill because we already know she's fascinated with the Marquis de Sade. You don't have to do it again.
Didn't even need that. How did the book get magical? I don't get it.
Why was it in his grandfather's trunk?
Right.
What was up with his grandfather?
I don't know. I've got more questions.
No. Oh, so he's looking for this obscure paper that's still pretty good condition.
Now listen to this. The only clue is the disappearance of a Mr. David Lincoln, Loftmore's chief helper at the house. Well, this is Mr. Lincoln.
That's the same man I originally met with China. But he hasn't aged.
So my grandfather was killed, looted of all of these relics that he had.
And that's when we find out the relics. We're like, what?
And the only person that was there was his manservant. What was he? His butler or something? I don't know who he was. His friend. That's the guy that told us about the Waxworks. How does he look so young? And they're like, I don't know. I don't know how he looks so young.
Do we know?
We don't know yet.
Oh.
We'll know in a second.
Do we ever know?
We do know. Okay, so the next scene, Mark goes to his godfather's house.
Hello, Mark! Sit down, dear fellow, sit down!
Sir Wilfrid, this is Sarah Brightman. This is Sir Wilfrid, my godfather.
Hello.
Just call me Wolfie. Everyone else does.
It's Patrick McNee.
Who plays Steve from the Avengers.
Yeah, he was in the Avengers. Which only just reminds me of Diana Rigg. Just thinking of Diana Rigg made me happy and totally distracted me from the storyline of this movie.
We were like, wait a minute. Oh my God.
I love Diana Rigg. Anyway.
the kid finds him and asks him about this whole situation, and he explains it to him.
And see, this is where we find out, why is he so young?
This is very serious. You see, your grandfather, bless him, had collected over the years 18 trinkets belonging to 18 of the most evil men that have ever been.
Who is this Mr. Lincoln?
Well, he had his own waxwork show in San Francisco, but it failed before he started working for your grandfather.
He murders my grandfather 40 years ago, and yet he still doesn't look a day over 50.
If you sold your soul to the devil, you'd never age either.
Well, if you had the evil voodoo magic
Of Narnia.
of Narnia, he lived in Narnia for several years. And so that's how we find out. So he does mention it.
So now we know too that he was the thief
that Lincoln was a thief, because then he explains the artifacts. He explains that
Yeah.
he has all of these artifacts.
So what we thought were just like jewels
from Big
junk
Lots.
from Big Lots were actually supposedly artifacts.
Were these artifacts from these different scenarios. So was there ever a real Phantom of the Opera though? I don't know. Like maybe there was a real mummy. Okay, I get that. A real Marky Mark de Chaudet. There was a real Marky Mark. I mean,
there was a real werewolf.
There wasn't a real werewolf. But I guess if you have like silver bullets or something, I don't know. But he has these artifacts from these different places that once all of the scenarios have a victim and they're dead, then all of these creatures will then come to life and destroy the world.
Okay, so let's go over that again. First thing you need is the artifact. The second thing you need is a victim.
Well, first you need a Waxworks scenario.
So wait, so did he make the Waxworks first and then steal?
McNee explains everything.
But what you have discovered is even more terrifying. You see, your grandfather not only collected their belongings, but also a small piece from the dwelling of the beast. What Lincoln has done is to recreate a whole scene from each character's life, which becomes like a small time vessel. The whole display is the ghost, not just the figures.
Okay, so the rules of the game are: you need the artifact, you need the wax figure of the creature or person,
and you need a victim.
And
then once all of the victims are killed, McNee made it sound like all you need is the artifact, provide the victim, and then the scenario kind of does the voodoo.
So
I'm still confused.
And did he say there's 13 artifacts? But then if there's 13, why did he only need... Oh, because he had 6...
I think he only needed 18.
He wanted 6 more assholes.
He only needed 6 more assholes to wax. This was so gay.
It was very gay. But wait a minute. The cop said there were already 13 victims. Oh my God. I think their math is off.
I don't know, because in the final scene, there were way more than 18. I don't know what those other things were,
but werewolves aren't real.
I know. Maybe. You go figure that.
The vampires.
Hey. Suspension of disbelief.
They're real.
In this story, they're real. I don't know.
What artifacts did he have from the vampire, I wonder?
What artifacts did he have from
the vampire?
Snappy Baby? Zombies.
This makes a lot of sense.
It just doesn't make sense. I mean, the plot just goes awry.
If that were the case, they should have had a real Jack the Ripper.
I know, right? They should have had like a
it's
pretty bad.
Historical.
And Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah, a historical thing rather than the monsters.
Historically known monsters, evil men.
I want to find out what the little artifact was for the evil baby.
There ends up being a baby with fang teeth. I don't know.
We'll get to that. But anyway, so that's it. That's the rules of the game. Artifact, scenario with the wax figure, and then you supply a victim. And then once you do that,
then all of these evil characters will come to life. And then it is like Night at the Museum. And maybe the Night at the Museum got their idea from this movie.
Right.
But they did it right.
Yeah.
It'd be great if that turned into a horror movie. The monkey eats Ben Stiller's face off.
So now we know what the recipe for disaster is.
I guess it's just evil for evil's sake to destroy the world.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he wanted to release these
destroy.
things to, quote, destroy the planet. But even if the Marky Mark Deschade and some zombies were out there, would it really destroy the planet?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, more than we've already destroyed it.
I mean, we've had zombies. We have the whole climate issue.
I don't know.
Maybe the evil snapping babies. Maybe that would destroy
And
the
the
planet.
and the monkey scientists.
And the monkey scientists. I don't know where that came from, but
I don't
love
know
it.
where that was
I
real
love that
either.
character. I think maybe that's what I'll be for Halloween, a monkey
Monkey scientist, that would be awesome. I'll be a
Let's do
snapping
it.
baby.
We could be monkey scientists with snapping babies. And we could have little snapping babies and little baby Bjorn and carry the snapping babies with us. Do you think anybody would even know what that's from?
No. No one's watched this stupid movie.
That's why we should do it.
You know
It'd be
what?
funny.
First, I thought maybe this movie was taken from the Knott's Berry Farm wax. Don't they have
Oh,
Waxworks?
the Waxworks. Yeah, they do have Waxworks.
I thought it was taken from that, but if
It's
it was, that would be way more interesting if they had all those characters in it. They don't have any of those.
No, it's just wax figures. So, all right. So now we know what the story is.
So now we know that McNee has this brigade.
Yeah. But he didn't. Did he tell him?
He did. He made it sound like they're some part of some kind of underground to save the planet. But he's got to tell everybody.
Tell the others our Mr. Lincoln has been found. It has begun.
So hopefully one of those people's Diana Rigg.
I know. Oh, we could only hope.
It's begun. So apparently
Right.
there's all these people
That have
that
just been waiting around for years and years. They knew it was going to happen. They just didn't know when. And now there's just almost enough bodies for them to do it. So he knows they got to get ready to fight the evil. Because evil dies tonight.
Oh,
bitches.
no. Evil dies tonight! So Copper, he goes in late at night to the wax because now he knows for sure those people look like the people that are missing.
Yeah, he's like that. That's got to be.
That's got to be. And so he has his deputy with him waiting in his car, and he goes sneaks
Eating a
into the
sandwich,
waxworks, eating his sandwich and smoking his cigarette at the same time.
Yeah.
Ugh, yummy.
Yummy.
And he goes to go investigate one of the wax figures. And I thought he was going to jump into that scene, but he didn't. He just walks up to the wax figures in the vampire scene and
Right.
starts scraping at the skin.
Of the girl, China.
All of the people in these scenes look like the actual people, and some of them even look like they're moving and breathing.
Well, you can see that. They're,
you can see that they're
you can see
moving.
that throughout the whole freaking film.
all
That these wax figures are
moving.
fucking breathing, and they didn't even try.
They didn't even try.
I think I could be still longer than they did. I could hold my breath longer.
And their skin didn't look waxy or anything.
I don't have the best lungs, but I could do a better job.
He starts peeling some skin, but in the close-up, okay, I have to admit, someone went to painstaking detail to kind of make the interior musculature of the skeleton underneath the wax skin,
Right.
that they made. So it was like one little patch, and he grabs the piece and he tries to pick it up with the knife, but he keeps dropping it, and so he has to pick it up with his fingers, of course, contaminating the evidence.
It contaminated the whole thing. His fumble fingers. It probably smells like cigarettes too.
He
now.
just incriminated himself.
With the nicotine stain on the skin. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, takes that little chunk.
So he's gotten his evidence. He's trying to walk out of this place, and he looks over at the mummy.
He's drawn into it. So he's sucked into the scene, and now he's in the scene with the mummy.
Come on, Nigel. Give me a hand. Push the darn thing.
And so it's really cute because they open up the sarcophagus, and there's a little desiccated mummy just in there, just like all crumbly and cute, how cute. And then the other mummy,
He comes out of this other sarcophagus,
and he's alive.
They are now cursed.
The curse. Those who desecrate the tomb of Raoul will be condemned to a painful death.
By Raoul.
It was Raoul.
Was it
You're so
supposed to be like
racist.
Raoul or something? I don't know.
It's Raoul. It's Raoul.
It sounded like Raoul.
They
So-
did say Raoul's racists.
I know, total racist.
Blaming everything.
And so the mummy gets out and just attacks them.
Smashes one guy's head, stabs an old man.
Gets the girl. He picks up the girl who is cowering the corner.
This is the best part.
He throws her into the coffin with the little desiccated mummy.
Mummy.
And the mummy's arms just kind of open up like they're like, I want to have
little hands. It's so cute. And then it hugs her.
It's just a snuggly skeleton.
And then they throw the cop in there too with him. And then the skeleton hugs him too.
They're so cozy together.
And then they close up the sarcophagus.
Hugs for everyone.
Yay! We forgot one of the best kills from the vampires. We forgot the vampire kill. Yes, with one of the brides of the vampire.
Flashback.
Throws her.
Oh gosh,
into the cellar wall where all
my
the
gosh,
wine
it was too good.
And the
pops her corks.
She pops her corks. She flings her into the wine cellar, and the champagne goes right through her torso.
And then the bottles pop open.
And then the corks go boop, 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 and pop open. It was super cute, little champagne.
That was a good one. Celebration for everyone.
For all.
Crack open the champagne.
That was super cute. So we have that, and then we have the super cute little mummy.
And the mummy scene. And then the wolf. I don't know. Some of these monsters were pretty cute. I am most definitely team monster.
They were cute. So cute. So now the cop is gone. He's done.
He's toast.
Yeah. And the other cop,
he comes in and he gets in there, and then Lurch just kills him
right away, immediately.
Then Lincoln comes out and he's infuriated because he needed one more.
What the hell did you kill him for? We still need 2 more. He'd have been perfect.
That could have been his last kill.
He could have used him. There's still 2 more scenarios that haven't been filled yet.
He lost an opportunity.
And that's why he's mad. He's not mad because he killed him. He's just mad because they didn't throw him in a scene and kill him that way. And Lurch is crying. It's so sad.
That's all right. I'm sorry I shouted.
But then, he consoles him. He says, it's okay. It's all right. We'll get another one. Don't you worry. Turn that crown upside down.
And these are the most evil people in the world?
How did the kids get back there?
They know who he is now. So the kids go back to the museum to try to get some answers. Those damn meddling kids. Because now they know the rules. They need to destroy the waxworks before 2 more victims are had.
Oh, that's right.
They want to stop them from getting 2 more victims. So they bring their lighter fluid and their matches and they go to burn down the waxworks.
The waxworks, yeah.
Why can't we just burn it down from the outside?
Right. They douse the flames and we get arrested for arson? That would be nice. No, we've got to burn down each display ourselves.
That's right.
While they're in there, little Sarah gets mesmerized by the Marquis Marc de Sade again.
De Sade. And this one is just weird.
She's transfixed. She is stuck on the Marquis de Sade.
She's in there for good.
That kind of looks like Montoya from Princess Bride. Mandy Patinkin.
He's got the same body
from
type.
A distance. When he gets close up, he doesn't look anything like him. He looks more like
the singer, Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton a little bit, which is inconsequential. But come on, let's get this thing blazing. And he's throwing his lighter fluid over everything and trying to start a fire. And then he realizes
that she's stuck in the scenario.
She's gone. And then he gets pushed into a scenario too.
Yes. It was like a black and white zombie scenario.
So it looks very, Romero, Night of the Living Dead.
Like they were trying, but
not so good.
And then he has this realization that, you know what, this isn't real.
He's trying to escape and he runs into the barrier.
From the vortex.
And he realizes, okay, this is not real.
I was forced to. If I don't believe in you, then you don't exist. Shit, I hope I'm right.
And his theory in his mind that he comes up with right then, if I don't believe in you,
You can't be real.
you can't do anything to me.
It's like being in a dream, dreaming.
They're all just kind of standing there looking at him like they're in the Thriller video.
And they're like, what? And he's telling them this. You're not real. They look a little concerned, like, what do you mean? Why are you saying that? You hurt my feelings, man. You hurt my feelings.
And he jumps out of the scene and he's able to get out.
Yeah, he's able to get out because now he's realized that, yeah, that's all they had to do this whole time.
And then little Hungarian and Butler and Lincoln are all out there and they're like, what? How'd you get out of here?
Yeah. And he's like, none of your business.
Punk ass. He escapes them and then jumps into the Marky Mark de Sade scene to save Sarah.
So he has to go after her.
I'm going to try and break her out. But first we see what little innocent Sarah has been up to.
I've never seen a girl take so much. She's an even bigger whore than her face betrays.
Then why do you stop, Marquis? Beat her more.
But Your Highness, if I beat her more, she may not survive.
It's just so, I don't know why they went there.
Because they wanted to be sexy.
But it wasn't.
I didn't think it was that sexy, but
I
mean, it just looks like a bunch of gay guys beating a woman.
Well, that's what it was, because it was so obvious that the Marquis de Sade was very gay.
The prince
and
that
the
he
prince
was
that was
showing
with
the
him
ladies to,
was so
and
gay
the butler.
Too. They were all super
They
super
were
gay.
all so gay.
Yeah, so gay.
We're going to whip you until you beg for more.
I know, and she's like, okay. All right, I like that. Yeah, so she's just like willing. And, like, what the hell? But, once again, it's because, it's sort of like a trance-like state. And that's why.
Yeah, she's hypnotized. So she's just being beaten by the Marquis.
He's just whipping her.
And he's going to eventually kill her. But before he can, Mark jumps into the scene.
Jumps into the scenario.
To save the day.
To save her.
I don't want to leave. Don't let him get me.
It seems she prefers our company, young man.
But she doesn't want to go.
She doesn't want to go. She's begging at Marky Mark de Sade's feet. Like, please,
she's
beat
pulling
me
his
some
leg.
more.
I want to stay here.
And I'm like, girl, just
They're
go with their
gay.
boyfriend. He'll beat you.
I know, right? God. Totally.
They are so gay.
Oh my God, they were
so
so
gay.
extremely gay.
The Marky Mark just kept whipping his hair back out of his face.
He would. If he was fighting someone, he would stop just to kind of just move his hair out of the way and,
Oh,
he was super gay.
So gay.
That was like the gayest thing ever.
Well, I mean, who did the casting on that one?
I don't know, but
Your girlfriend gave us quite an entertaining show. What a slut she is.
oh my God. So he is able to get her away from them and break the spell, telling her it's not real. You can get out of here.
And they're
Let's
like, we
go."
did it. But Lincoln and the butler, they grab the girl and they grab Mark and they're like, we've got plenty of victims that can't wait to get into our waxworks.
Right.
And so the little guy is like on his watch and they have 2 new victims that come in. It's like, hey, they let us come into this museum. It's pretty nifty. Oh, I love zombie movies.
Yep. Sucked right in. Shoot. Within seconds.
Within seconds, they're popped up. They're dead.
They have everybody they need.
They have all their scenarios completed.
They're all set. It's all ready to go. Start it up. Start it up.
The beginning of the end, and he's going to try and destroy the world with this assortment of monsters that are now all coming to life. And here's the thing. It's not just the few monsters that we've seen, not just zombie, mummy, a wolf man. It's not just the few we've seen.
No.
There's all this array of creatures.
Of different creatures.
An alien scene with an alien poking at a guy in a chair. There's an old granny with a weird baby on her shoulder that has sharp jagged teeth.
fang teeth.
There's a monkey scientist.
The monkey scientist working on someone or something. Little There's this pod, this weird pod.
Weird
like
pod lady, this pod woman coming out of a pod. It was just weird. Other creatures you never see.
No, and suddenly they're all joining the fun.
And it just seems like they're multiplying.
Mm-hmm. It's like, wait a minute, when did this get here? What? I've never seen this one.
And then
what is this about?
Crash through the door in his wheelchair, camouflaged like a tank. McNee comes in, sadly without Diana Rigg.
Right.
But with a brigade of elderly gentlemen.
White guys. A bunch of white guys.
One of these gets out, the world will be contaminated within a few days. Our only chance is to contain them here, before this whole rotting place is brought to the ground, and us with it if we have to.
Who come in and just like,
we're gonna fight them.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
And then it's just this big Keystone Cop.
Oh my God.
Monty Python. I'm surprised they didn't take out like whipped cream pies.
Right, and start flinging at each other.
It's like and they're all like having this crazy fight scene.
Fighting, and all the creatures are just all over the place, and bats flying, and someone's shooting the bat's head off, and little babies jumping at people, and they're trying to throw flames at it.
It's just this massive mayhem.
Just insane. Yeah.
It just goes insane. Zombies and
everything.
Wolfman's back with this big giant head and little
trying
ears.
To bite everybody.
Trying to bite people. Oh my gosh.
All these old guys are trying to stab these creatures or behead them or burn them, whatever they can do, beat them.
So this big fight's happening and then the Marky Mark de Sade sees his boy, because I think he's really more interested in Mark than he is in the girl.
I think he is too. Yeah.
Now we shall see who is the real man.
Yes, because why is he following him around?
He's following him around. He's like, goading him on to come fight him. It's like, I'll show you who the real man is.
You think you're the man? I'll show you who is the man. I am the man.
I'll put my sword in you.
And Mark's like, okay. So he's up for the challenge. And of course, he doesn't know what he's doing. And the Marquis beats him, I don't know how many times.
A few
like,
times.
3 times.
Just toying with him.
He's toying with him.
He's like his little kitten.
Yeah, he's like, here, take this back and try again. See what you can do now. Try again. Here's the sword. Try again.
He would just play with him like that all night. He loved it. He liked that kid. We didn't like him, so we didn't care.
No, and they're fighting each other for the longest time.
So they have this big sword fight, and Lincoln has escaped into the wax melting room,
the candle making station,
and that's where the sword fight ends up. And Lincoln's watching from above, just like letting it transpire.
Right, just watching everything as the wax bubbles below them in the vat.
So Lincoln is just waiting out the sword fight. He is so certain of Mark's demise.
Yeah.
He basically has him with the blade at his throat.
So many times.
This must have been for the 3rd time, 4th time.
Yeah.
And not only that, why isn't his skin searing off? Because he falls right against the stove of molten wax.
It's bubbling. You can hear the wax bubbling.
And he lands right by the furnace. And they're just sitting there like, this is comfy.
Gonna hit me with the whip a few times or what?
I know. They're having a good time.
I'm done with the swords. Let's play with the whip.
He's got the sword right at his neck. Lincoln does the Emperor's thumbs down.
Kill him now.
Destroy
I'm done with the game.
Him.
Kill the wimp.
Then the Marquis, oh no, has an axe in his back. Thanks to Sarah.
Thanks to little innocent Vestal Virgin, the Marquis' new whore.
I know, they keep calling her that. I'm like, gosh. I know. I was like, leave her alone. You're gay. You don't want anything to do with her.
Who minds whores anyway? We like whores.
Yeah. What the
Some
hell?
of our best friends are whores.
I think they all are.
I know.
All of my friends
It's
are
a horse.
whores, and they're all whores.
It's an old Smith song.
Oh no! It would be sad though. It'd be like, oh, my friends are whores. They're all whores.
I'm sure that's a Morrissey song.
Why are they all whores? Why are they whores?
So the whore kills him. Thank God for whores with axes.
Whores, all of you. Whores, a bunch of you. Axe to the back. Hooray! That guy was annoying.
And then the place is just falling apart. Like, everything's lit up.
People are dying. Monsters are dying.
And then you see McNee come out of the flames in his electric camouflage wheelchair. And he's just like, save yourselves.
Get out of here.
Watch out the flames! Don't worry about being a fool! Save your soul!
And then all you see is Lincoln.
So he's holding up his little ray gun or whatever
I just
weird
think it's
kind
one of those
gun.
military guns, right? That just shoots like multiple rounds, right? I can't remember what those are called. I'm not a gun person.
It was just weird. And so he's holding that, and he's going to shoot the kids, but McNee saves them, says, get out of here, and shoots.
And shoots him in the chest.
Lincoln is like, he's dying, but at the same time, he just keeps his hands just like automatically. He's like,
long death scene.
Death scene ever.
Bang, bang. And it's just randomly banging. It's shooting everywhere.
It's
not aiming. It's just
no, he's just dying, and he's got his finger stuck on the damn trigger.
And then he topples off of the scaffolding into the big giant bubbling vat of wax. You know what's coming. Mark steps back right against the burning, the ginormous bubbling wax pot, and we know one last jump scare. Lincoln's gonna pop up, and he pops up.
He does, yeah, and he says something stupid.
Do you want to join me?
No. Would you like some candy? Wait, what did he say?
It's warm in here. Oh, toasty.
He says, "I hear paraffin's good for the hands."
Next anus wax.
He pops up. Next anus wax on me.
Oh no.
Bubble bubble.
And then he just kind of bubbles back down into the pot.
That's so dumb.
And they escape. They run out of the building
as it's burning and falling apart.
So you think everything's like destroyed. I say, okay, Waxwork is done. We never have to see this movie revisited again. Everything is burnt to the ground.
But wait.
Just one more thing. In the zombie scene, there was a disembodied hand. It's just like thing from the Addams Family, and it's just like crawling out. And it crawls out of the rubble like a little spider. And you think, oh, someone's going to squash it. Someone's going to step on it.
You're hoping.
But no. Waxwork 2.
No! Go away.
No more.
No more. No
más, por favor.
Close you up in a box and put you at the back of the garage. And that is the end.
Oh, that was it. So that is Waxwork in a nutshell.
Sucked.
It sucked. There was some moments.
Yeah.
This one I'm not going to say there were scenes I loved. No, but there were moments.
Yeah. There were some cute.
The only scene really worth watching is the fight scene in the end, because this is when you see the toothy baby with the jagged teeth.
It's just mayhem, and you see all these new little creatures that they made up, you know,
that you never knew were there.
Right. And you know, it might have been a better movie if they, you know, kind of stayed away from the usual characters and maybe use the monkey scientist.
Toothy baby.
I
wanted more of Toothy Baby.
Toothy baby, monkey scientist. Those look like they would be fun.
I want a baby that bites. That was the best part of the entire movie, when everybody dies.
Yeah, and you see all these other little creatures jumping
And then
around.
you see all of these other little
I mean,
creatures.
even the little bat was super cute.
Oh, that
someone
little
grabbed.
bat. I
and it
was so
like,
mad when they killed
and
it.
they shot his
I
head off.
just
I'm like,
thought they were so
"Hey,
cute. The Wolfman
it's
was
just a little-"
adorable. The
Yeah.
bat was cute. That little toothy baby. The monkey
Adorable.
scientist.
Loved it.
I want a menagerie of all those creatures.
Yeah,
Delightful. I'm surprised I didn't see Karen Black in the corner.
I know, right?
They had
Popping
everybody
out.
else. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Benny Hill comes out and Diana Rigg shows up, and some clowns start coming out of cars.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I know.
It was just like that kind of scene.
Just
It was so stupid.
so dumb. Oh my God.
And you never really got to like Mark. I mean, he escapes, and now you're hoping, okay, if there is a Waxwork 2, can they get him then?
Can they just kill him?
Can they kill him in that one?
please? Yeah, just get rid of him at this point. We're done.
Well, that's over.
Well, that's Waxwork.
I don't have anything else to say about that.
I don't either. Just that all my friends is whores.
All my friends are whores.
Shall we end this?
Sure, let's end this tragedy.
Thanks for listening to Another B Movie. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Another B Movie Podcast. You can email us at anotherbmoviepodcast@gmail. Rate, review us on Apple Podcasts. Actually, you can do that on Spotify too. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget to remember Las pesadillas son.
There are no nightmares for this one. There's just snores.